good evening. It's the next day after the last video I made. I can't remember what day it is in terms of when I started this autumn raw challenge, and it would be day 1 of a 50-day challenge if I were gonna mark it that way, but I'm not. It's autumn and I've only had a few days off. It's not even been a whole week. It was like 3 days and then 2 evenings. Today, so far so good, although I got very frustrated at one point. Seems to be when I feel angry and rejected or put down, where a lot of people would go, fuck you, I'm going to prove you wrong, or stuff you if you're not looking after me or not caring about me. I'm going to care about me, rather than, if people appear not to care about me, it makes me, that's the wrong phrase, I end up joining in on the Erica bashing and end up wanting to hurt myself more. Someone hurts me emotionally and I think, fuck it, what's the point? I might as well join in, and I obviously don't matter, and blah blah blah. Anyway, I'm having a very rough day emotionally, one way or another. Not made any better by the fact that Maggie Smith died today, or died yesterday, and the announcement was today. I don't actually know. Anyway, it's a bit of a shock. I watched The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie as a kid and was in awe of the woman when I was very young. Can't remember how old we were when my mum had us stay up one Christmas evening to watch it. I think it might have been when it was first shown on the TV. Anyway, rough day emotionally. I'm going through a lot with everyone. Been a full-time parent for 22 years and I feel like I'm being rejected by my kids, which I'm not. They're in the natural process of growing up and separating. But my daughter went through some very, very rough times, and I have been there for her through them all, and she's shared everything with me, and now she doesn't want to, and again, it's natural, but it is not easy. And it's all very personal. I don't really want to have it out there on the internet, really, but I'm just feeling a bit rejected one way or another, and used and abused in other ways, and I'm not used to feeling emotional. I'm used to numbing out my emotions by eating or doing drugs or drinking, or my entire life, like since being a teenager. I did start back then with food and continued with alcohol and then drugs, and then went back to alcohol and then went back to food. Actually, food has been part of the whole process for the entire time, I think. So yeah, what I'm struggling to do I'm actually struggling with trying not to feel the emotions because they make me very uncomfortable, and Why do they make me uncomfortable? I think because I've spent my teenage years into adulthood not showing them, because my mum's emotions were more important than mine. Plus, I didn't want to trigger anything in her and cause more scenes and upsets than there already were. I don't know. This is all personal too. Maybe I won't post it. But I've managed to be raw today anyway. Can't find myself joyful about it because it all feels so strained and uncertain and delicate. Like I could give in at any moment to the urge to numb out. And I mentioned last night, I can't understand why I numb out on food, because it doesn't unlike alcohol, which, you know, and to a large degree drugs, but particularly alcohol and codeine too, you know, you're kind of out of it. You don't think straight anymore. You don't feel the same, and if you do, so like the emotions can come out when you're drinking. Like, you know, I used to drink and cry, but it was drunken crying, and so not necessarily about me. Oh, I don't fucking know. I don't know. I'm talking absolute bullshit. Maybe. But the food, I don't understand. I don't understand it because you, it's night time and someone's driving with no lights on. With food, yeah, you stuff your emotions down. There's definitely a, like, the food goes on top of the emotions. I guess then you're distracted. You know, after a binge, you think about the binge and not the situation that's upsetting you, or you know, there's the distraction there, and you start ruminating about weight loss and that kind of nonsense instead. And so yeah, I guess it does distract from what's going on. Yeah, I suppose it does. Not in any satisfying way, though. I really can't deal with obsessing about weight anymore. It's all so surface. It's all so it in itself is a distraction from what's real and what's really important. You know, the fact that, like, probably 98% of women and a good percentage of men now and boys now are obsessing about how they look, about weight, and about muscle tone, and about cellulite, and about wrinkles, and about a whole load of fucking stuff that just doesn't matter. Yeah, no, we shouldn't all be, you know, morbidly obese, or even, you know, clinically obese. It's not healthy. But honestly, If I hadn't obsessed about my weight, I would never have got fat in the first place. If I hadn't been trying to fit a societal stupid ideal of what women should look like, I was a normal kid. I was a normal, healthy kid. Yes, I ate meat. Yes, I ate cheese. Yes, I ate bread. But not in, I never overate until I was a teenager and struggling with bereavement and an insane mother. I never overate until then. But I was on a diet from the age of, I can remember first feeling fat when I was 3 years old. And the next door neighbours, a kid next door, called me little fatty. So I've been trying to fit into other people's ideas of what is attractive and what is acceptable since I was 3. And it was partly that girl and it was partly my mum. And then magazines and, TV and it's just, it's constructed by who? By the media, by society, and I completely believe that it came about as a means to control women and keep them occupied. Let's keep them occupied so that they don't want too much. They're so busy trying to fit themselves into clothes that were never going to fit them. People want to be disgustingly unattractively thin. And men want to be disgustingly unattractively built. Good old Arnold Schwarzenegger. He became gorgeous because he stopped over lifting, but didn't that amount of muscle that he used to have that's not attractive and never has been. To me, anyway. Each to their own, of course. But it's not an ideal that everyone should be going for, I don't think. And Botox that makes people look ridiculous. Like, this is a rant. I'm not going to post it, I don't think. I've yapped. I've got stuff off my chest, I suppose. I'm going to fuck off now.